A Florida man is accused of leaving his toddler son to die inside a hot vehicle for over 3 hours. On the 6th of June, 33-year-old Scott Allen Gardner locked his 18-month-old son Sebastian in the back of a pickup truck in the heat for hours while he went to get a haircut, and then went to have some drinks at the Hanky Panky's Lounge in Ormond Beach, Florida. Medical examiners estimate the baby's body temperature reached 111 degrees Fahrenheit as he sat in the truck. Authorities said that when Scott left the bar and got into his truck, he found his son already dead. Instead of immediately calling 911, he drove to his mother's house and then called for help, but by that time, the child had already been dead for over an hour. Law enforcement agents attempted life-saving measures on the boy, but it was too late and he was pronounced dead. Authorities said that Scott gave multiple false accounts to police of the events leading up to his son's death, including that his son had a low-grade fever, and that he eventually stopped talking and breathing. During the investigation, authorities determined that the toddler was left in his father's truck with no air conditioning. Investigators said that Scott had lowered the windows and had a small portable fan on, but it barely reached the child, leading to his death. Volusia County Sheriff Michael Chipwood said that following his son's death, Scott went out for more drinks with his mother. Sheriff Chipwood said, "I don't think there's a penalty on this earth that could ever fit for the crime that was committed here. It absolutely shocks the conscience for this, that this even happened. There's no reason whatsoever. This guy's nothing but a piece of shit, and I pray that his son is constantly in his vision, asking him, 'Dad, why did you do this to me? There's no logical reason why this little guy is dead,' he said." On Thursday the 19th of June, police tracked Scott down to his mother's home in Ormond Beach and he was arrested. Scott was booked into the Volusia County Jail on charges of aggravated manslaughter and neglect. On the afternoon of Friday the 20th of June, Scott appeared in the Volusia County Court where a judge denied him bond. A 40-year-old woman is accused of trying to beat her 6-year-old daughter to death with a hammer. At 12:49 p.m. on Thursday the 19th of June, authorities responded to a home at 2942 Wilson Avenue in Louisville, Kentucky on reports of a domestic disturbance. When officers arrived on scene, they entered the residence and found a 6-year-old girl with several blunt force injuries to her head. The child was rushed to Norton Children's Hospital with multiple skull fractures and a brain bleed, and she remains in a critical condition. The victim's mother, 40-year-old Zienab Abdi, told investigators that she frequently becomes extremely angry and has difficulty controlling herself. She also told officers that she became overly angry and struck her daughter in the head with a hammer an unknown amount of times. Authorities said that Zienab's son, whose name and age has not been disclosed, provided a similar account of the harrowing attack on his sister. During an interview with the suspect's son, he stated that while restraining her after the assault, she begged him to let me finish her while attempting to return to the victim. Zienab was arrested and charged with attempted murder, and she was booked into the Jefferson County Jail. On the morning of Friday the 20th of June, Zienab appeared in the Jefferson County Court where the judge set a bond at $500,000 and ordered her to not have any contact with any child. She has a preliminary hearing scheduled for the 30th of June. A 45-year-old woman is behind bars for fatally stabbing a 36-year-old man at a hotel. At 7:30 a.m. on Friday the 20th of June, authorities responded to the extended stay America in the 46,000 block of Waterview Plaza in Sterling, Virginia, on report of a stabbing. When officers arrived, they located the victim, 36-year-old Christopher Young, suffering from a stab wound. He was taken to a nearby hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Deputies located the suspect, 45-year-old India Taylor, on scene, and she was taken into custody. India is charged with second-degree murder and stabbing in the commission of a felony. She remains held at the Loudoun County Adult Detention Center without bond. The motive of the attack is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. A man is behind bars after dismembered body parts believed to be his wife's were found at his home. On Saturday the 15th of June, 56-year-old Charles Antwine Jr. was arrested and charged with desecration of human remains. The Florence County Sheriff's Office in South Carolina said what began as a missing persons case out of Brunswick County, North Carolina, turned into a death investigation. Loved ones reported Christy Ward and Charles missing from their North Carolina home last week. On Saturday the 14th of June, A Florence County deputy was checking the Lynch's riverboat landing at Riverside Cemetery Road when he saw the roof of a mostly submerged car. The South Carolina license plate was registered to Charles, who had another home at 976 Stillwater Road in Lake City, South Carolina. Deputies went to the home to conduct a property check, where they detected an unusual smell coming from the house, but no one was answering. They obtained a search warrant, and when entering the home they found Charles calmly sitting on the couch. Investigators then discovered dismembered human remains in plastic containers which were taped shut. Florence County Sheriff T.J. Joy said the remains are most likely those of Christie, but the sheriff's office is waiting for an official confirmation from an autopsy. Charles was taken into custody and he remains held at the Florence County Jail with bond denied. The investigation is ongoing and additional charges are expected. 36-year-old Christopher Wasnetsky, an employee of Lowe's Home Improvement, is accused of fatally shooting his co-worker 44-year-old Jeff Moeller. The incident occurred at 12:36 a.m. on Saturday the 14th of June, when police in Scranton, Pennsylvania received a report of a shooting at Lowe's, located on the border of Scranton and Dixon City. Christopher called police himself, admitting, "I'd like to report a shooting at Dixon City Lowe's. I was the person who did it." Officers arrived swiftly and detained Christopher near the store's front entrance. Inside, police found the victim, Jeff Moeller, laying on the floor in a pool of blood, surrounded by 4 bullet casings. He had sustained multiple gunshot wounds, including one across his back and 2 directly to his head. He was rushed to a local hospital, where he was pronounced dead. During a recorded interview with detectives, Christopher claimed that Jeff had been harassing him at work, and he felt no one addressed his complaints. He admitted to purchasing a Springfield 9mm semi-automatic handgun, specifically to shoot Jeff, and even practiced using it in his backyard. He told police his plan was to kill Jeff and then himself. He recounted approaching Jeff while he was working on a machine, shooting him in the chest without warning. When Jeff fell and pleaded for help, Christopher shot him twice more in the head and chest, stating that he didn't want Jeff to suffer. Investigators found a handgun unloaded near a shopping cart approximately 30 feet from Jeff's body, along with a live round and a magazine. Christopher also claimed he sent an email to Lowe's Management and Human Resources prior to the shooting, asserting the incident could have been prevented if the alleged harassment had been addressed. However, the store manager informed police that Christopher harassment complaints against Jeff had been investigated and deemed unfounded. Christopher was arrested and charged with felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1st and 3rd degree murder charges. He remains held at the Lackawanna County Jail with bond denied. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 30th of June. Police are searching for the suspect responsible for the fatal shooting of 30-year-old LaJarvis Ruffin. The incident occurred at just after midnight on Thursday the 19th of June at the Park Springs apartment complex at 5610 Shore Road in Jackson, Mississippi. LaJarvis was changing the locks on his child's mother's apartment door because she was having issues with the father of her other child, and she was concerned that he may enter the premises uninvited. While he was doing this, LaJarvis's cousin heard gunshots and found LaJarvis had been shot outside the door, and 911 was contacted. First responders arrived and found LaJarvis unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds. They attempted life-saving measures, however he was pronounced dead at the scene. Just a day prior to the shooting, LaJarvis posted on his Facebook page stating, "Trusts get you killed, stay paranoid." No arrests have been made to date, as the investigation into the matter continues. An upstate New York woman has been arrested after allegedly sending naked selfies to a child. On Monday the 16th of June, Chemung County deputies arrested 22-year-old Anamaria Milazzo of Elmira, New York, on charges of disseminating indecent materials to minors and endangering the welfare of a child. The investigation began on the 9th of June, after a resource officer in Chemung County received a complaint alleging Anamaria was sending explicit images to a boy. Investigators said they learnt that Anamaria sent nude photos of herself to a 14-year-old boy over a 3-month period. Anamaria was an employee of the Boards of Cooperative Education Services, but has since been fired. The investigation into the matter continues.